Single motherhood. It's not really something anyone should be proud of,
Okay.
you know.
How did you find out you were pregnant?
Hey, this is what happened. I visited my brother in Calabar. I was in Protect then. I spent 2 weeks with him. He just kept telling me, "Come, this guy, you don't see your stuff." Because I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
So we got to the hospital and doctor just looked at me. He said, "Go and look for the father of your child. I don't know anything about what you're saying. You know,
Being a single mom
what does
does
this one
not
have?"
mean that you have lost brain cells. So what's your favorite part of being a mom?
They sit down there. I'm talking to you. At this age, every little thing you hear tickles you. But then close your legs. Don't fall prey to them.
Hey guys, welcome back to More Than Headlines, and I'm your host, Kate. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful week. So this week with me, I have a friend. Okay, before I introduce her, I would like to mention what we're talking about today. So today we'll be discussing Strong and Single Moms Edition. So before we start the conversation, please, Deborah, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. My name is Deborah Johnson, a public servant and a proud single mom of a beautiful princess.
All right, guys. So today, basically, we want to delve into Deborah's experience as a single mom, which is also going to serve as, lessons to the younger generation and just basically an all-round interesting conversation. Okay, so my first question would be, how did you become a single mother?
How did I become a single mother? I had a boyfriend who denied the pregnancy.
Really?
Of course. How else? I was barely 19. I just turned 19. 2 weeks after my 19th birthday, I tasted the forbidden fruit for the first time, and that was my princess.
Like 2 days after your 19th birthday.
2 weeks
Okay,
after.
2 weeks after your 19th birthday, you decided to be a big girl and it landed you in trouble.
Yes. Not like I planned for it, like just happened.
Okay. So my next question to you would be, how did you meet your child's father? Was he also a teenager? Because like you said, you were just 19 at the time. Was he also a teenager? How did you guys meet?
No, he wasn't a teenager. He was far older than I was. He was in his
Okay.
30s already,
Oh,
but
wow.
never looked it. Now, I just finished secondary school, like in
Okay.
July, had my job November of the same year. And then I was posted to the local government because of intentions to go into their higher institution.
Okay.
One of those days, we had a meeting with the local government chairman, and that was where I met him. He was looking very young, and we never talked about age. I sort of liked him. He came to me, and yeah, since I was done with secondary school, I was working. I felt, I'm a big girl already, so why shouldn't I have a boyfriend? And this was like 2 7, and then 2 8. That was already 1 year plus.
Okay.
It happened. I tested it for the first time.
Okay, just for clarification purposes, you actually started working like immediately after secondary school, yes?
Yes.
So just for the sake of the people that are watching and don't know, she actually started working immediately after secondary school. So at the age of 18, you were already employed.
Yes, I was.
Okay, so prior to this work meeting, you had never met him? You didn't know
Never
him?
ever. I didn't even know anybody like that existed in this planet Earth.
So far, what has been your experience as a single mom?
Single motherhood. It's not really something anyone should be proud of.
Okay.
Funny enough, I was a teenager. I didn't even know I was pregnant until after 3 months. Because the first 2 months, I still saw my stuff. But then, thank God for my mom, the early stage, I had family support. I had my family behind me. My mom was there.
Okay, sorry to cut you. Okay, let's go back to the story of how you found out you were pregnant. Yes, because
That's the
knowing your
question.
mom, I know that would have been super dramatic. How did you find out you were pregnant?
Hey, hey. This is what happened. Okay, one of those times I visited my brother in Calabar. I was in Crutech then.
Okay.
He's very observant. So I spent 2 weeks with him. He just kept telling me, come, this guy, you don't see your stuff. I'm like, which kind of year question with that? So he kept asking and asking. And before I got to you, he had called my mom and told my mom, Mom, see, that your daughter where they come back, check her, she don't carry belly.
Whoa.
And I came back. Mom didn't tell me anything. She was just watching, watching, watching. 1 month gone, 2 months gone. I actually saw my period.
Like you were menstruating while you were pregnant.
Yes, the first 2 months.
Okay.
But the third month, I didn't see anything. So since I already had a hormonal imbalance issue in secondary school, I just felt, okay, this was it coming up again. So I met my mom and I'm like, Mom, I'm not seen my stuff this month. So she just looked at me and said, eh? So all this your big girl, this is where it has landed you. We argued and argued and argued because I wasn't having any symptoms, no morning
I'm sure you were
illness.
still denying.
Because I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
So we got to the hospital and doctor just looked at me. Told my mom, Aggie, this girl is 3 months gone.
Whoa. Just like that.
The way I looked at the doctor, if I had my way, I could punch him. And we started arguing again, another round of argument.
But why were
So-
you arguing? You
because-
knew what you did.
It was just once. I wasn't expecting it to happen.
Okay.
It happened just once, and then so we ran tests, did scan, and it was confirmed that I was 3 months gone. Right there, I told my mom, I'm not going back with this thing. My mom looked at me and was like, my first grandchild, you dare not try it. You did. Trust my mom. You know she can't. You know my mom is a drama queen. She
Super drama.
talked, and just then my girlfriend called me. I'm like, Debbie, congrats. Your name is on the list. You have admission. I'm like, whoa. Mommy, am I going to go through this?
So you were going to school as a pregnant student.
Somehow. My mom was just there. She was supporting me. I was going to school as a pregnant girl and then had my child 2 days before my first semester exams.
Wow.
Yes. And bro kept denying it.
He didn't wait. Okay. So he got you pregnant. Did you reach out? Did you call him to tell him you were pregnant?
Yes, when we came back from the hospital, Momsy asked, do you know who got you pregnant? I said, yes, the same person I told you. What's my
Okay.
boyfriend? Oh, call him. I want to see him.
Okay.
And when I told him my mom wanted to see him, first question he asked was, why? I mean, the day we
Okay.
came back from the hospital, when I knew I was pregnant, same day,
Okay.
I called him, told him my mom wanted to see him because I was pregnant. He
Okay.
said, go and look for the father of your child. I don't know anything about what you're saying.
Are you serious?
And we argued and argued and argued. And he kept saying, I've had sex with you just once. Is it possible for you to get pregnant after just one time? He denied the pregnancy and got married a few months after I'd had my baby. I had my baby in April. He got married in September of the same month.
Wow.
And then his wife was just a year older than me. Me, that he said I was too young and naive. So, for whatever reason he denied the pregnancy, I don't know.
So as a single mom, what has been like your challenges, having to, take care of everything, be there for your daughter.
First thing first, the first major challenge as a single mom is the societal stigmatization.
Wow.
You walk into a place and you introduce yourself. Well, people might know you from somewhere. One person or two might know you from somewhere. And when you want to say something that's actually going to make sense, the next thing you're saying, next thing you hear, like, what's this one going to say? After all, she's a single mom. You know?
Being a single mom
what
does
this one
not
have?
mean that you have lost brain cells.
I wish everybody had this, this kind of mentality. But a lot of people feel being a single mom makes you, I don't know that word to use.
Less than?
Less human. Some people, not everyone. Some people think it's just now people are beginning to realize that there's a whole lot of life ahead of you. So being a single mom doesn't make you less human. But back then,
Yeah.
there were times my mom couldn't even sit out her friends because they'll be like, this one that is always preaching, as spiritually strong as she is. Her only daughter got pregnant outside wedlock. She couldn't control, things like that. And then again, apart from the stigmatization, financial challenges, it's not easy. When my daughter was younger, my mom was still in active service, so she took at least 70% of the responsibilities. But now it's she's retired and it's me. Good enough. I think recently the dad just stepped in. But he's not doing everything. I still do like 70, he does 30.
So I'd like to ask a question. Going back to what you said about stigmatization, do you think the stigmatization was because you were young? Because you being young, sometimes, there'll be a lot of things in your head. I know people judge people. I know how harsh people can be, especially to teenagers that are in like bad situations or, circumstances. So do you think the stigmatization was more because you were young, like a teenager?
Yeah, a lot of people feel like this one was wild.
A lot of people think you're a bad girl. You were a
Yeah,
spoiled
you were a
child.
spoiled
Far from
child.
it. If only they knew.
If only they knew, my dear. If only they
If only
knew.
they knew.
A lot of people felt I was spoiled, I was bad. I had very crazy friends in secondary school. So
Okay.
when you see my friends and you see me, you would think, she's like them. I'm not saying they are bad, bad, bad.
Exactly.
But these were the people that had boyfriends back in school. You understand? And I didn't have. It's not like I didn't have friends, but I couldn't say they were already practicing these things. And then after secondary school, they'll be like, baby, you're wasting. What are you doing?
You wanted to feel among the
Let me also test this
you wanted to feel
thing.
among the big girls.
And I ended up with a child. And
Yeah.
I still thank God, Sha. I
Yeah.
thank God for the whole thing because it has its advantages and disadvantages. But then I have a friend. I actually don't have a sister, so she's like my sister and my best friend. So,
Aww. So what's your favorite part of being a mom? I know you
uh,
do have one.
the sit down there. I'm talking to you. The young lady, listen to me.
Wait. Just because you're the last child, you're looking for who to bully. Are you serious?
Ah, no, actually, I wish you know T. You can't bully T. You can't bully her.
Okay, so for context, T is her daughter.
You can't bully her. Someone that will tell you, Mom, you can communicate without shouting.
Wow.
So you,
That's one smart girl.
so you can't bully her. So what makes me so proud of her is that she can actually stand up for herself.
Okay.
And when experience was I started teaching her, introducing her to sex education. I started teaching her sex education
Wow.
as early as 3. Now,
Wow.
yes, as early as 3. Because our mothers didn't teach us that. They felt, they are too small to know these things. No, this thing is going to spoil them, you know. But these kids are wiser. Most times, the things you're trying to protect your child from,
From
they know it better than you do. They are just waiting for you to tell them. And if you do not teach them, they'll learn it from outside.
Yeah.
What they learn outside is good. Most times is the wrong thing.
very true.
So whatever thing I knew about sex, whatever thing I knew about boyfriend, whatever thing I knew about relationship, I learned it from my friends. I learned it from outside. My mom never, as close as I was to my mom was always, my mom is a prayer warrior. She's always God, 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 church, 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 Bible, Bible, Bible. And so when you bring those things like that, you have become a child of the world.
This is just an observation, by the way. I've noticed that a lot of women or parents that tend to be very churchy, 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 kind of always have kids that misstep. Let me use
Because they
that.
miss it somewhere.
Yeah.
They feel that when they teach about God, 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 God,
Yeah.
you should try to introduce them to the social life.
I think it's
Tell them
because,
about it.
okay, when you're teaching your kids about God, for example, yes, they understand it, but you're also not teaching them about, their
Life.
everyday experiences, the things that would happen when they're hanging out with their friends, when they're hanging out with neighbors when they go to
To
places that they have never
school.
been to, So basically, like, it's very common that people whose parents are like churchy, churchy, churchy always, kind of sometimes consciously or unconsciously
Unconsciously.
deviates from, the whole church
That's actually true.
lifestyle.
That's actually true.
One thing that keeps coming to my head every time I remember, like, I hear conversations like that, like, I had a very personal experience with my own mom. So this is me going to, I think I should have been in SS1, feeling like a big girl. I came back one holiday, feeling like a big girl. Then I dressed up. I wore my mom's shoe, my mom's high heel slippers, wore my short skirts, and wore it up and left the house. So my mom went to work and I left the house like maybe right after she left the house. Then I came back after she came back.
Back from work.
Now she was curious because she asked. And they're like, oh, I went out since so time. And she's like, so why are you coming back at this time? And my mom, I don't think more of her worry was, where did I wear short skirt to? Instead of wondering, where did you go to? Do you understand? So now this was just me trying to, like I said, big girl. I went to my friend's house. I was in my friend's house the whole
Well
time.
done.
And we're like there, just talking about school. And my mom's worry is that, where did I wear this short skirt to? Now, don't forget, growing up, I was actually brought up in a liberal home. We didn't really have restrictions.
We had.
No, I didn't have restrictions. Like, I was allowed to wear trousers. I know a lot of kids my age were not allowed to wear trousers. I was allowed to make hair. I was allowed to wear earrings. I was allowed to wear short skirts. But now, my parents were not, like, I don't know how to, they were not okay, they were not used to the fact that I would comfortably wear
Short
that
skirt
kind of short skirt out.
out.
They were very okay with me wearing it in the house. So that was like so for some reason I never knew that, oh, wearing short skirts can be bad. Which would have just taken my mom sitting down to tell me that, oh, you could wear this short skirt out and someone will molest you. And to be very honest, that was the day that her mind came down. Like, and she sat me down and she was like, oh, there are things that could happen. And we had that conversation.
That's your mom.
That was the day we had, just because I wore a short skirt.
When I said started teaching her from 3, I didn't actually talk about the whole boyfriend
Yeah.
thing. I talked about the whole
If somebody touches
if somebody
you,
touches you, you react this way,
yeah,
you
you tell
shout,
mommy.
you tell mommy, or you
Yeah.
shout and then fight back or run away. So, and that helped her because in her primary 5, something happened in her school.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Somebody tried something with her?
Her computer teacher spanked her in the buttocks, not because she did anything. She's slim. She
Okay.
has protruded bum bum. So most times, if she wears a flare skirt, her bum bum will always lift her skirt up. We always raise it up a bit.
Okay.
And this man went into class, asked her to go to the computer lab and bring the laptop and the charger.
Okay.
She was walking out, and then he spanked her
Wow.
on her boot. And then she was like, please, sir, don't do that again. I'll report you to my mom.
Wow.
And he did it the second time. And she was like, my mother is coming to school tomorrow. I'll tell my mother for you. And the man said she insulted him and beat her up.
Are you serious?
Reported her to the head of schools.
That
Now,
man should be thrown into jail.
the head teacher didn't even ask her what happened, simply because she told the man, don't do it again.
Wow.
They took it as an insult and then beat her.
Okay.
They punished her. So the school bus didn't bring her back by 2 or 2:30. I had to go to school around 3. I'm like, I've not seen my child. And my girl was in school crying. What happened? She was like, Mommy, I want to go home. Just take me, just take me. It was when we got home, when she was settled, that's when she then told me everything that happened. Trust me. Because I told her, okay, sorry,
I wanted to
it
ask.
won't
Okay.
happen again. And the next thing she told me was, Mommy, if you don't come to my school tomorrow, another time I will not tell you anything. Now
Wow.
she was just 9. Or she was just 10. I won't tell you. Next time if it happens, I won't tell you again. So I went to the school the next day. And here was the man trying to say, she insulted me. What did you do that she had to talk to you? And he was like, he beat her. For what did she do for
Exactly.
you to beat her? I had to call her classmates to get the real truth. And when other parents heard what happened, I remember a man asking me, how did you teach her? How were you able to tell her how to react when things like this happen? I'm like, I started from little, so she's used to it. He was like, he likes it. For a little girl to stand up for herself at this age, that means no one can actually try this shit with her, even in a secluded place. And I had to take it up. When the school got to know this is what really happened,
Yeah. Got to
they
know the real
the
truth.
real truth. They took some measures. I don't know if he lost his job, but I knew till my daughter left that school, he didn't go to our class anymore. I didn't see him again. So that's just it. And then subsequent times, you can't stop her on the road to say shit. Shit like, ah, how far? More reach house now. She will run you stay. Because it happens.
Okay.
She looks older
Yeah.
than her age. So I get lots of gist every time. And then
Okay.
I build a
From
relationship.
her.
Yes,
Okay.
I built this relationship with her where she can talk to me about
Tell you
anything
everything.
and everything. I never had that relationship growing up with my mom.
Wow.
No, I didn't have it. My friends were my go-to persons every time. I didn't have that relationship with my mom. Because every time I walk on the street and a boy tells me, fine girl, alpha, I go back home and I tell my mom, hey, why won't he call you? Why not shaking your buttocks? Why not? Is it not because you wash your skirt? That is my mom. You get. So a lot of
Yeah.
parents do this thing and they push their children, especially the female children, they push them away. So I didn't want that kind of,
Yeah. To
to
have
happen
a.
between me
If
and my child.
I'm the child, I ask you, but mommy, who bought the short skirt? Let's start from there.
My mother.
Who gave me the short skirts now? You bought the short
So
skirts.
my mom, there was, I think my JS3 says, so my mom burnt all my trousers.
Why?
Oh, wow.
You're forming big girl.
I was forming big girl.
So my next question is the father of your child present in her life right now?
Somehow,
Okay.
somehow, yeah,
So
he
like
is.
he's fully involved? Because I believe like I'm someone who firmly believes in a child having equal,
No,
balance,
no.
because whether we like it or not, we like a child needs to have, both
Both love,
support
yeah.
and love from both parents. So I don't believe in, oh, some people try to use children to spite the
The
other
other,
person.
no.
But when it comes to the child, I believe that, both people should be allowed access unless the other party is found to be harmful, or dangerous to the child's health or well-being.
Well, he's present, but I wouldn't say 100%.
Okay.
I wouldn't even say 50. He's present. At least to an extent, he's trying, but from the start, he wasn't there, you know. And I think where he got involved was when my girl started asking questions. She was about to enter the secondary school.
How do you answer questions from your child about her absent parent?
Uh, it's not easy. It's not easy because this question started from while she was still younger. She goes to school and comes back. I'm like, Mommy, why is my dad not coming to pick me from school?
Aw,
You know,
yeah.
Mommy, is it, why am I living with just you and grandma and my uncle? Why am I not saying my daddy? I'm like, okay, okay, okay. I was just waiting for her to get to a stage where she could understand certain things. And just before she entered into the secondary school, after her common entrance, one of those days we were in the kitchen together, and then she asked, Mommy, where is my daddy? So
Oh,
I left everything I was doing. I sat her down and I told her. Now I told her everything that happened, and then I told, and later, and at the end of it, I told her, I do not want you to hate your father. He had his reasons to do whatever thing he did. Now, if you want him, after hearing all this, if you want him in your life, you are free. But just have it at the back of your mind, I am never, ever going to be with him. So you are
okay.
never going to find me and your dad in the same house. It's never going to happen. But you want him in your life, you want to have a relationship with him, you're good. Okay. And then she said she wanted to talk to him. I still had his number from way back. So I gave her my phone, asked her to call him and introduce herself to him. And she
Wow.
did. And I think a week or two after they met, he drove down to my place, met her, and he already knew about her
Of course. Yeah.
because then when
No,
I
you
had her,
said, yeah, you said you called him
yeah, he
when you
knew.
had
He
her.
had he even had a picture
Okay.
from when she was born.
You sent it to him?
He came to where I was doing because after my first semester exams, you went on strike, as a strike actually. And instead of being at home, I said I should go for computer training. So he drove down. I don't know how he knew I was there. So he drove down there, asked to see me. I went down. He said he heard I have a child. How do I have the girl's picture? And then I gave him the picture. And he saw him, I'm like, she looks so much like his mom. I'm like, oh wow. But please, he's getting married in a few months' time, brought out his wedding card, showed me. I'm like, please, I don't want your family. I don't want you to bring your family to make issues with me and this and that and that. Just, I'm like, okay, fine. Okay.
Okay, so the reason he came, no, let's get this. The reason he came to see you on that day was definitely to tell you about his wedding and so that you don't bring your family people to make issues with him.
That's it.
Wow.
Wow. When T wanted to meet her dad, he drove down and they met and they talked. She told him she's about to start secondary school and I was like, fine.
How has it been taking financial responsibility of your child as parents?
Well, what can we do? We are trying to co-parent, but
Okay.
it can't be equally.
So
But
how is
then
it working? How is co-parenting for you?
we are trying. What can we do? One day you're quarreling, the next day you're okay, but then we're trying. And it's financial aspect of it, it's a bit sometimes 70-30, sometimes 50-50, sometimes 80-20, sometimes
999.
99.999,
Sometimes 100%.
sometimes 100%. So
So who takes the financial burden? Who takes most of it?
it will always be the mother. It will
Wow.
always, always, always be the mother because once the fees are, they feel that once fees are paid, that's all. Forgetting that the child is going to wear clothes, the child is going to eat, the child falls sick, there's provision, there's this. So it most times is the mom.
So what has been your proudest and most accomplished moment as her mom?
Most accomplished moment. I look at my child and I'm like, is this actually me?
Oh.
Is this actually me? She's 15 and she's actually doing very well for her age.
Okay.
Academically, she's good. Morally, I can say yes. I'm not that I did it alone with God too. Morally, she's very, very, very strict and spiritually she's a bit stronger than I am. So when I look at her, I'm like, thank you, Jesus, for this gift.
So I'd like to also commend you. To be very honest, you've done an incredible job with that girl.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. You know, like I said, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. You've made lemonade out of your lemons. For our last question, what's your advice to, teen girls? First, teen girls. Second, teen girls that find themselves in your situation.
Advice for teen girls: close your legs. Don't be deceived. They will always come with sweet tongues, sweet good things. They'll always come with lies, 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 cooked up lies. Knowing that at this age, every little thing you hear tickles you. But then close your legs. Don't fall prey to them. And for those that will say, "Auntie, but be firewood," use protection. Because I remember a little girl telling me, "Nothing where you know me, I never know."
Whoa.
Yeah, a girl of 15.
Are you serious?
Yes. Last year, she said, "Auntie, nothing where you know me, I never know. No man where you don't meet, I never meet." So for people like that, use protection.
Okay.
So use protection. And for teenage moms, I know it's hard. Most
Yeah.
times parents tend to push them out. Reach
Yeah.
out to people that there will always be somebody out there that cares.
Yeah.
Reach out to people that care for you. Make sure you don't fall prey to this men anymore. Try to become something better. I know it's not easy, but fight, strive real hard to be better, to become a better person for yourself and for your child. So that's just it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Were you already crying? I'm
No.
seeing tears. Is it, I don't like when you're talking about your daughter, you feel like tearing up.
Yeah, because
Oh,
she's a whole lot.
yeah.
She's a
I can
whole
imagine.
lot.
This has been a very interesting episode. Thank you so much for coming. Finally, you've been dodging this podcast and we finally got you today. Thank you so much,
Thank
Debbie.
you too. You're welcome.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in on Modern Headlines podcast. Please don't forget to comment, like, share this podcast with your friends and family. Catch you on our next episode. Bye.